Well, these emails, the laptop, that is under investigation by the Senate Homeland Security Committee. But how they got there, they wound up in the hands of a small computer repair shop in Wilmington, Delaware. They were then obtained by Rudy Giuliani, who now says he's in possession of thousands of incriminating emails and photos, including one that indicates Joe Biden met face-to-face with this high-ranking official at the Ukrainian energy firm Burisma that was allegedly paying Hunter Biden large sums of money to be a board member. Joining us now to discuss is President Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, the former mayor of New York City, joining us live. Rudy, it's good to see you again. Look, we've got a lot to discuss here. Hunter Biden's name back in the headlines. This bombshell report from the New York Post and your name's involved in it. I want to walk that through. There's a lot of questions about that. But first, I just want to get your overall thoughts on what you saw, the media reaction to the information that was released so far, and what stood out to you the most?
Well, what I saw from the mainstream media is the usual cover-up of Biden criminality, which is now at the point of major scandal. I mean, the fact is that there's so much evidence that the Biden family has been taking money illegally for many, many years. I think the Washington press corps knew it and covered it up. And now you have Biden's own text messages to his father, to others, which make it clear that they were stealing money, taking money from countries like Iraq, Ukraine, China, Romania. Oh, don't forget Moscow, the 3.5 million from Moscow that Biden lied about at the debate, which we have proof of. Plus, today, the New York Post completely puts the lie to his claim he didn't know about Burisma, and he didn't know about the shenanigans there, and the fact that he was involved in a bribe there, since he said he never met or knew anything about Burisma. And there are text messages that make it clear that in 2015, he had a meeting with the number 2 person of Burisma in Washington, D.C.
Let me jump in really quick if you don't mind.
Those texts were supplied by the Post.
Mr. Mayor, let me jump in really quick if you don't mind here. The New York Post, I just want to walk this through as easy as I can for the viewers to understand, because we have two elements here. We have emails that we've seen in the New York Post story, and we have pictures of Hunter Biden. And a couple of questions about the pictures in just a minute. But the emails here that we see are alleged from this Ukrainian official on the Energy Board sent to Hunter, thanking him for introducing him to his then vice president, his dad at that time. If these are real and they're true, did Hunter Biden commit anything against the law? Did Joe Biden do anything against the law? Were there crimes committed?
Sure. Here's a couple of them. Number one, if he set up that meeting and he didn't register, he violated the Foreign Agents Registration Act, for which they put Paul Manafort in prison. If they're going to put Paul Manafort in prison, it sounds to me like they should put Hunter Biden in prison. Second, it proves really that Joe Biden was involved in the entire Burisma scheme. In the bribery that he admitted to way back in 2018, he's been lying about this for 6 years. He said, I didn't know anything about Burisma. Here we have a text message, several of them, setting up the meeting, proving the meeting. Oh, and by the way, this isn't alleged. This is Joe Biden's son's hard drive. It's his. It belongs to him. He sent and got those messages. There's no doubt about that. I can prove that in 10 different ways. I have his entire hard drive.
They're wondering how you got the laptop. How did you get the hard drive?
I got the hard drive legally, completely legally. Why are they worried about how I got it? Why don't they just say it's untrue?
Fair point.
Because it isn't untrue. Because Joe Biden participated in massive bribes. Because this hard drive will prove that his son illegally got $10 to $14 million from Ukraine. That the purpose of it was to bribe the president of the Ukraine, which Biden admitted to. It's also going to show that Hunter was sharing half of the proceeds with his father. I have another text message that hasn't been released yet, right here from January 6, 2019. It reads as follows. This is Hunter Biden to his daughter. I love you, but I don't receive any respect, and that's fine, I guess. Works for you, apparently. I hope you all can do what I did and pay for everything for this entire family for 30 years. It's really hard, but don't worry, unlike Pop, I won't make you give me half your salary. That's the email. It's on the hard drive. It's clearly his hard drive. It's got 1,000 pictures of him. I haven't put those pictures out. Those pictures are disgusting. Some of those pictures constitute crimes, by the way.
And I want to just point out for the viewers that what you just showed there has not been seen yet. So thank you for sharing some of that with us.
I'll tell you how you can see it. You can go to Rudy Giuliani, rudyscommonsense.com. It's there. The exact document is there. The date of the email is there. And let him deny that he wrote that.
Well, let me ask you this.
I obtained it absolutely legally. And I have all the documents to prove it.
I want to ask you this because there's a lot that has been released. There are photos right now. There are a few photos of. That's what I want to ask you about because Hunter Biden is seen on these photos. There is what looks like a crack pipe in his mouth as he's sleeping. There is rumors out there that there's a sex video with a crack pipe in Hunter's mouth. Is that true? Is that out there? Have you seen that?
I have no interest in any of the sex pictures, except one that maybe suggests criminality that should be examined very carefully. If the FBI ever gets around to examining it, they've only had it for 8 months. I mean, there's something very wrong with our FBI when they don't jump on this. Those videos and those photos only trouble me for one reason. They constitute a national security threat for the United States because every one of those videos and photos is in the hands of China. And you can bribe and extort and squeeze the vice president with this because he denies it. He says he's a good boy, he doesn't do anything, he's away from drugs. This guy's consistently been on drugs for the last 8 years. And that's what these photos show. And our enemies have those pictures. And another question, who would pay $30 million to a guy who's consistently on drugs unless he's doing it to bribe his father, who's the vice president? And how come Joe lost every negotiation with China? And China is in several businesses with not only Joe's son, but with his brother and sister-in-law. And according to this, Joe gets half of it. This is his son's text to his son's daughter. I didn't write this. They should stop blaming it on me. I didn't collect the $30 million from China. They did. I didn't sell out to China. They did. I didn't have my son go work for the crookedest man in Ukraine. Biden did. And what is Biden doing having his son, who is a very, very seriously afflicted crack cocaine addict, working all around the world? Why doesn't he take care of him? I blame this on Joe Biden. What kind of father has his drug-addicted son, who just gets thrown out of the Navy, go work for the most crooked man in Ukraine and one of the most dishonorable men in China? Joe Biden is not what you think.
I'll ask you about
this. He began his career as a cheat in law school. He cheated in the Senate, and he's been using his family to make millions for years. He's been doing it by selling us out. And it's disgraceful that the media covers it up. Now, attack me all you want, but that's the truth.
Well, that's what we're trying to find out. We want to find the truth. That's exactly what we want to find out. I'm glad that you're here to shell this out because this is how the article got put there.
Here's the truth.
Do you have any more documents you can share with me? Any more images?
Oh, yes, I do. No, I don't. No, I will not share them yet.
But will you?
I'm going to let them blow off their steam and consistently say things, because every time they say things, I can prove they're lying. For example, originally when I came out with this, he said I didn't know anything about Burisma. Today, the New York Post blew that wide open. I suspect in the next couple of days, they'll say a few more things that I can prove are untrue. To get this through is the hardest thing I've ever done, because there is a conspiracy to protect him. Washington Post, the New York Times, NBC, ABC, CBS, MSNBC. The proof of his criminality has been there for 2.5 years. He said it himself. I've given them more than enough evidence that would have put, of the 100 people I convicted, I probably had no more evidence on any of them than there is on him. And I'm sorry that he's the vice president or the Democrat darling. He's a big crook. I don't like crooks, and they're very bad for my country.
Well, let me jump in really quick, Rudy, because I know you've seen this. Let's talk social media. A frenzy happened when this New York Post story came out. I want to say hours later, there was already a censorship, not only on Facebook, but a major one on Twitter. In fact, right when you click on it, it says, warning, this link may be unsafe. What do you make of this?
I make of it, they're corrupt. The media is corrupt. They are covering up a major crime. Joe Biden was involved in getting money from Iraq, from Ukraine, and a lot of it from China. It was going through his family, and he was getting half of it. His son's texts and emails prove it. Now go cover that up. That's what they're doing. They want him in the White House. They want him in the White House so they can continue to do business with China, so they can continue to cheat and steal, just like he does. This is disgraceful what's going on. Cutting off these text messages and emails. Wow. Where are we? In the Soviet Union? According to Twitter and that other silly place, we are. And they think they're going to stop it by doing that? I mean, I'll go around the country and hold up the hard drive and show it to all of you. And I tell you, you look at this hard drive and you vote for this guy, there's something wrong with it.
When can I see more of it?
Well, you will. As they keep falling into the trap, you'll see more and more of it. If I gave you the whole thing, they try to discredit it all at once. When I put it out the way I'm going to put it out, we're going to show that there are two problems here. The corruption at the highest levels of the Obama administration and the corruption in the media that hid that from you for years.
We'll pay attention to that. I know this story is continuing to develop. Social media is trying not to let it develop. Meanwhile, we will continue to look at all the facts.
It's called censorship.
It is called censorship. You're exactly right about that. And a lot of people are noticing this. I don't know if you can turn back the hands of time with Twitter on this one. But nevertheless, there is still more to be learned. Rudy Giuliani joining us live. Rudy, thanks so much for your time. It's always great to see you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.